गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीर वनचारी। जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीर वनचारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा माधव राधे। जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे। जय कृष्ण बलराम जय वृंदावन धाम। जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद। बोलो गिरिराज महाराज की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की। हरे कृष्णा। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। हरे कृष्णा। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता अध्याय 7 चैप्टर 7 श्लोक क्रमांक 11 टुडे। So just to, in the last class we had seen just the background of this chapter. Prabhuji, can you please show that chart? वो चार्ट दिखाइए। Yes. So Srimad Bhagavad Gita, we are discussing chapter 7. Today's verse is 11. So before going to that verse, let us have a look at the whole chapter summary. So this chapter has got 30 shlokas, and this whole chapter can be divided into 5 parts, 5 sections. So the first section is talking about knowing Krishna by hearing. Tat Shrunu. Krishna starts with Jnanam Vijnanamidam. So just by hearing Krishna, how can we know Krishna? And the second session which talks about is Krishna is the source of both material and spiritual energies. So under this section, Krishna is talking about some of his opulences. So Bala, the power, is also Krishna. So that is what in this second section Krishna is explaining to Arjuna. So Shlok Kramank 11, let's Shlok. So let's recite the shloka. Text 11. Balam balavatam chaham. Balam balavatam chaham. Kamaraga vivarjitam. Kamaraga vivarjitam. Dharma viruddha bhuteshu. Kamosmi bharatarshava. Dharma viruddha bhuteshu. Kamosmi bharatarshava. Balam balavatam chaham. Kamaraga vivarjitam. Dharma viruddha bhuteshu. Kamosmi bharatarshava. Balam balavatam chaham. Kamaraga vivarjitam. Dharma viruddha bhuteshu. Kamosmi bharatarshava. Balam balavatam chaham. कामराग विवर्जितं धर्म विरुद्धो भूतेषु कामोस्मि भरतर्षभ। माताएं, हाँ बोलिए। यस बोलिए। बलम बलवतां चाहं कामराग विवर्जितं धर्मा विरुद्धो भूतेषु कामोस्मि भरतर्षभ। बलम बलवतां चाहं कामराग विवर्जितं धर्मा विरुद्धो भूतेषु कामोस्मि भरतर्षभ। बलम बलवतां चाहं कामराग विवर्जितं धर्मा विरुद्धो भूतेषु कामोस्मि भरतर्षभ। Meaning of this, the word by word meaning of this verse: balam, strength, balavatam, of the strong, cha, and aham, I, kama, passion, raga, attachment, vivarjitam, divide of, dharma viruddho, not against religious principles, bhuteshu, in all beings, kamaha, sex life, asmi, I am, bharatarshava, O Lord of the Bharatas. Meaning of this verse by Srila Prabhupada: I am the strength of the strong, divide of passion and desire. I am sex life which is not contrary to religious principles, O Lord of the Bharatas. Arjuna. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The strong man's strength should be applied to protect the weak, not for personal aggression. Similarly, sex life according to religious principles should be for the propagation of children, not otherwise. The responsibility of parents is then to make their offspring Krishna conscious. Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurum Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Itam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamcha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayatem girim yat kripatamaham vande Sri Gurum Deenatarini Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. I would like to invite all the devotees today for this class on Bhagavad Gita, Shlok Kramank 11. So Krishna is explaining how he is the source of everything in this verse. Balam balavatam chaham kama raga vivarjitam dharma viruddho bhuteshu dharma aviruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshava. So I am the strength of the strong, divide of passion and desire. I am sex life which is not contrary to religious principles. O Lord of the Bharatas. So Krishna is explaining how the strength in the powerful man, it is Krishna. So all these material qualities like bala, kama, attachment, all these are, if in the direction of dharma, then that is Krishna. If it is not in the direction of dharma, then it is not Krishna. For example, Kamsa, Ravana were very, very powerful. Kamsa, if you in Srimad Bhagavatam and also in Garga Samhita, it is explained how powerful the Kamsa was. One time, Jarasandha had come to Mathura, with his whole troops. He came to Mathura and he has camped on the bank of Yamunaji here. Jarasandha was having an elephant. That elephant was, how powerful that elephant was. It was having a strength of 10,000 elephant. 10,000 हाथी का बल था उसमें. So can we imagine 10,000 elephant? What might be the power of that? And that hathi, that elephant's name was Kuvalaya Pida. Kuvalaya Pida elephant, hathi. And that has become once very mad. And it escaped from the tent and it started destroying all the Mathura, it went on uprooting the trees and throwing it on the people. It just went like a mad elephant. Nobody could control it. You can imagine it is 10,000 elephants' strength, bala. And then Kamsa was going there. He saw that elephant. You know what Kamsa did? He took that elephant with its, both legs, catching both the legs. And then he lifted that elephant and he threw it back into the tents of Jarasandha. Can you imagine the strength of Kamsa? He could throw that elephant back into the tent of Jarasandha. Jarasandha was amazed. Who is that person? Who is that person who could throw this elephant? And then he came to know that he was Kamsa. So Jarasandha was so impressed because he was a demonic king. And he wanted to give both of his daughters to Kamsa. So he gave both of his daughters in marriage to Kamsa. Prapti and Apti, these are the daughters whom he married with Kamsa. And also he gave that elephant to Kamsa as a gift. Along with that, he gave many things, but that Kuvalaya Pida Hathi was also given to him. And then we know in the history, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna and Balram, when they came to meet Kamsa, who stopped them first? It was an elephant, Kuvalaya Pida elephant. On the gates of Mathura, the Kamsa, it was Kamsa's arrangement. He once again made that Kuvalaya Pida elephant intoxicated, and then he left that elephant on Krishna and Balram. And you know what Krishna did? Krishna caught hold of its tusk. He broke that tusk and killed that elephant. And then both Balram and Krishna carrying that, the blood-laden tusk in the assembly hall of that Kamsa. It was so fearful, that sight. Kamsa became fearful. Who are these boys? Small boys killed that elephant. And that Bala is Krishna. Now Kamsa used his strength against the principle of religion. And later, as we know, how Kamsa started creating havoc in this Mathura, and he wanted to kill Krishna. Many times he sent so many demons. And effortlessly Krishna killed all of them. Starting from Putna, Shaktasur, Bakasur, Agasur. They could not stand in front of Krishna. So Krishna is telling here, I am the strength of the powerful person. So if anyone uses this strength according to the direction of dharma, that is Krishna. Dharma aviruddha bhuteshu kamosmi. But anybody uses it for his own self, then he gets destroyed. Kamsa used all his strength for his own benefit. Similarly, Ravana was very powerful. He used that kama against the principle of religion. He wanted to kidnap the goddess of fortune, Sita Devi, and he got destroyed himself. Kamsa, he used that bala against the principle of religion. He got destroyed. There are many powerful kings like Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu was very, very powerful. Hiranyaksha. Hiranya means gold. Aksha means eyes. Whose eyes is fixed on the gold. So he wanted to exploit all the golds from the earth. So that's why his name was Hiranyaksha. So one time he took this whole earth, Mother Earth, and immersed in the ocean. And in that ocean nobody can go there. So he wanted to exploit. It is dharma viruddha, against the principle of religion. And you know how he got destroyed. Varaha Bhagavan, he came in the avatar of Varaha. Krishna came in the form of Varaha Bhagavan. Just with one slap, he smashed Hiranyaksha. Similarly, Hiranyakashipu, so powerful. The devatas of the Swarga, you know, when they see the Hiranyakashipu raising his eyebrows, they all will become fearful and start shivering. And Hiranyakashipu engaged all the devatas to work in his kitchen. So that was the power of Hiranyakashipu. But Prahlad Maharaj, who was a great devotee of Lord, Hiranyakashipu did not like him. He used all his power, bala, to smash Prahlad Maharaj. Just because you are taking the name of Vishnu, who is my enemy. Because he killed my brother, Hiranyaksha. And you know how Lord just tore Hiranyakashipu apart. Just like a person making articles of, fiber, he tears the fiber particle. Like this, Lord Krishna, in the form of Narsingha Bhagavan, he tore Hiranyakashipu apart effortlessly with his nakha. Now that's why Prahlad Maharaj, you see the great Prahlad Maharaj, in his prayer, Prahlad Maharaj prays, my Lord, I know that all these demonic kings, how powerful, my father, Asura Varya, Prahlad Maharaj said, Asura Varya, my father, was having so much of strength, the long ayu, lambi ayu. He performed thousands of years of tapasya to become immortal, and he acquired a long life so that nobody can destroy him. But yet, Lord came in the avatar of Narsingha Bhagavan, and he tore Hiranyakashipu apart. So that's why Prahlad Maharaj prays in his prayers, Tasmadamus tanubritan ahama shishodnyaha ayuhu sriya vibhavamai driyama virinchat nechamite bilulita vuru vikramena kalatmano panayamam nijabratya parshvam kalatmano panayamam nijabratya parshvam. Very beautiful prayer. Therefore, my Lord, I do not want the strength, I do not want that opulence, I do not want that long years of life if it is not engaged in your service. Because I have seen from my own experience my father how powerful he was having a lambi ayu, but he was smashed effortlessly by my Lord with your own hands. So that's why I do not wish to have a long life, a strength, and all that kingdom. If you want to give me, please take my hold and just leave me in the association of Shuddha devotees, pure devotees. This is what Prahlad Maharaj prays. This is according to Dharma. So Dharma viruddha bhuteshu kamosmi ham. All these desires of material desires, if it is against the principles of Dharma, then everyone will get destroyed. So there are so many stories. Just like Krishna says in another verse, Sutre Manigana Yuva. All the pearls, in the necklace, they are strung each other with a hidden thread. There's a hidden thread inside. What happens if thread is taken away? Everything will fall. All these pearls, now that thread is not visible, but those pearls are visible. But if you take the thread out, all the pearls will collapse. Similarly, the Balavatam, Kama Raga Vivarjitam, Dharma Viruddha Bhuteshu Kamosmiham. So similarly, Krishna is like the invisible thread behind this Bala, behind this Kama, behind this attachment. So that is what is Krishna is explaining to Arjuna. Srila Prabhupada writes, now this, how this Bala should be used. Like there are example of Hanumanji. Hanumanji was very powerful. And how he used this Bala in the service of Lord Krishna, Lord Rama. When he went to Lanka, there he saw that there was a beautiful garden maintained by Ravana, and where Sita Devi was captivated. So Hanumanji smashed that Ashokavana with his Bala. And also he wanted to, burn this Lanka using his Bala. Hanumanji thought that since I have come here, I will do some service. So Ravana captured Hanumanji, and then that he put cloth to his tail, and then they burnt it. So Hanumanji went around and burned half of Lanka. So Hanumanji used his bal in the service of Lord. Similarly, the sex life, if it is used in the direction of Dharma, then it is Krishna. But if it is used against the principle, one will get destroyed. Just like Ravana, Kamsa, all this. People who use their strength against the principle of religion. So in Grahastha life, Prabhupada ji writes, the Kama should be used for begetting a good children. In this Kali Yuga, we all are born from our mother as a Shudra. Janmana Jayate Shudra. By birth, we all are Shudra. Samskarat Bhavet Dvija. So, one should learn in Grahastha life the samskara. If there is no samskara, then the children that we get out of this Kama, sex, is all asamskari putra. So Srila Prabhupada writes that Kama should be used to beget the good children. So there are in Grahastha life 12 samskaras. Garbhadhana is also samskara. We know in Srimad Bhagavatam, Kardam Muni and Dehuti Mata, what a great personalities. Kardam Muni, son of Marichi, Brahmaji's grandson, a greatest ascetic, tapashvi. Brahmaji ordered him, instructed him, my grandson, if you please do tapasya and get into the Grahastha life, and I want you to beget the children. Kardam Muni did not have a wish to have the sex or the material life, but just because Brahmaji has ordered him, he went for performing tapasya. And he prayed, Lord, my Lord, if you feel if I am suitable and capable, please give me instruction, a suitable wife, so that I can follow the orders of my Parampita, Brahmaji. Just look at how humble Kardam Muni was. And looking at his tapasya and all that bala that Kardam Muni was used, Lord was so pleased. Lord Vishnu came on Garuda to meet personally Kardam Muni. Actually, it is said it is in the place Bindu Sagar in Gujarat, where Kardam Muni performed tapasya, and Lord came to see Kardam Muni personally. And seeing the Kardam Muni, Lord could not hold his tears. भगवान के आंखों से आंसू का बिंदु गिर गए. And that is Bindu Sagar in Gujarat. And it is said it is very, very pious place. बहुत ही पवित्र स्थान है बिंदु सागर. So Kardam Muni then prayed, Lord, my Lord, if you feel, it is all right, if you feel, if I am worthy, you can instruct me to enter into the Grahastha life. So Lord Vishnu, Bhagavan, told Kardam Muni personally that after some time Manu Maharaj will come with his daughter, and you please get married and enter into Grahastha life. Then Kardam Muni accepted it. And Dehuti Mata, such a great personality, she was, it is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam, she was most beautiful. And the daughter of Manu Maharaj. And she is having all that opulence, what an worldly girl, marrying girl can think of. But just by the instruction of Manu Maharaj, she married a devotee, Kardam Muni, who is staying in a small hut. He does not have any richness or opulence, not even having a proper house. But Dehuti Mata came there and served Kardam Muni just like Mata Parvati served Lord Shiva. So it is explained that just like Mata Parvati serves Lord Shiva, similarly Dehuti Mata served Kardam Muni for many, many years. Without expecting anything, Dehuti Mata, you can imagine a marrying girl who comes into the house, and although she is having everything, but just in the service of Kardam Muni, she left everything. And later when Kardam Muni realized that, Dehuti is sent by Lord Krishna, and I am entering Grahastha life according to the instruction of my grandfather. So, you know the story that how Kardam Muni created by his own siddhi, power, one of the very big palace, and he provided all that facilities, and then he begot children. So Kardam Muni and Dehuti Mata, they had sex life according to the principle of religion. They begot 9 daughters, and then Kapil Bhagwan. So Swayam Lord Vishnu came as their son. So Srila Prabhupada says, one should enter the Grahastha life and produce children. If they are able to produce good Krishna conscious children, they should use this sex karma. Otherwise it is useless to get married. This Grahastha, Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas, these 4 orders are advocated by Lord Krishna. So the children should become Krishna conscious, and they should propagate, and they should be in the service of Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada writes, there are 2 kinds of children one should beget. One is they should be able to get the incarnation of the Lord Himself, or good children who can serve the Lord. Manu Maharaj, Shatrupa performed thousands of years of tapasya and they got Lord Rama as their son. Similarly, Vasudeva and Devaki, Prishni Garbha in their previous life, Sutapa and Prishni, they got the incarnation of the Lord. And in this, Devaki and Vasudevji, Lord Krishna is their son. So this is the Grahastha life. Otherwise, it is said in Shastra, Ahara Nidra Bhaya Maitunam cha Samanya etat Pashubir Naranam Dharmo Hitesha Adiko Vishesh Dharmena Hina Pashubir Samana Nrananam. Everybody has to eat, everybody has to sleep, everybody has to defend for themselves. But in the Manushya life, in the human form of life, which is very, very precious, if we all spend our energy, that bala, in only these 4 activities, ahar, nidra, bhaya, maitunamcha, then he is no better than an animal. So one should use his intelligence to understand who am I, who is the Supreme, what is my connection, and he should lead a life according to the principle of Dharma. So many, from all the stories of Srimad Bhagavatam, we can understand that how by using this bala, by using this kama, by using this attachment in a wrong direction, one got destroyed. So all the devotees has prayed to the Lord, oh my Lord, Vritrasura. You know the story of Vritrasura. Vritrasura was very, very powerful. And because he was a devotee in his previous life, he could remember all his life. He was fighting on the battlefield along with Indra. You know how powerful Vritrasura was. Indra, because Vritrasura by nature he was from the Asura side, demonic, but he was a great devotee. So when Indra was fighting, Vritrasura tells Indra, just kill me. I just want to finish this body. And you go and you enjoy this Swarga. I don't want to enjoy Swarga. Please kill me. And throw that weapon. I know that Vajra that you are holding is made to kill me. So please release that Vajra. Indra became bewildered. He's not fearful in front of me. And this is the Vajra. And he is ordering me to release the Vajra. So Indra was confused. Lord Indra, what he did is, he took his mace, Gada. Before actually trying this Vajra, he took the Gada and threw it. And that Gada, just hit his left hand, Vritrasura. Vritrasura captured that Gada and then threw it back to Indra. What happened? Indra, who was sitting on the Airavata, he went few furlongs away and fell down. And that Airavata became unconscious. That was the power of Vritrasura. Then Vritrasura was laughing. Indra, you do not have confidence what Lord has given, because Vritrasura knew that this Vajra was created just to kill me. And now you do not have confidence. You are not, releasing that Astra to kill me. Please kill me immediately. I want to go back to Godhead. And you enjoy this Swarga. Then he said, he uses all that abusive words to instruct Indra. And very beautiful prayers, Vritrasura on the battlefield. And by that prayers, Indra became so humble, how great the devotee is. He cannot be called as an Asura. He is a Bhagavata, Mahabhagavata. धिक्कार है मेरे जीवन का कि मैं देवता बनकर भी ऐसा मेरा कॉन्शियस नहीं हो पाया। जस्ट सी व्हाट वृत्रासुर प्रेज इन द, सो एक्चुअली वृत्त भागवता, भगवान के बहुत ही ग्रेट भक्त। सो वृत्रासुर प्रेज, अहम हरितव पादैकमूलो दासानुदासो भवितास्मि भूयः। अहम हरितव पादैकमूलो दासानुदासो भवितास्मि भूयः। मनः स्मरेत सुपतेर्गुणांस्ते गृणीतवा कर्म कुरोतु काय। न नाकपृष्ठं न च पारमेष्ठ्यं न नाकपृष्ठं न च पारमेष्ठ्यं न सार्वभौमं न रसाधिपत्यं न योगसिद्धिर् अपुनर्भवं समञ्जसत्वा विरहैकाङ्क्षे। अजातपक्षा इव मातरं खगा स्तन्यं यतावत् सतराक्षुधार्ता। प्रियं प्रियेव विशुतं विषण्ण मनोरविन्दाक्ष दिद्रुक्षते त्वां। मामोत्तमश्लोकजनेषु सख्यं संसारचक्रे भ्रमितस्वकर्मभिः। त्वन्माययात्मा आत्मजदारगेहेषु आसक्तिचित्तशननाथ भूया। आसक्तिचित्तशननाथ भूया। अहं हरितव पादैकमूलो। Very beautiful prayers. He prays, "Oh my Lord, when I will become your devotee, when my tongue will chant your beautiful name, when my body will be in your service, and I do not want any opulence, I do not want the strength, I do not want that swarga, heaven, I do not want to become the king of this earthly planets if I have to remain away from you. My Lord, I am just like a wingless bird. You have seen in the nest of a bird, there is a small bird. Sometimes these birds do not have the wings, And these small birds in the nest, they are always hoping to receive their mother. When my mother will come, when she will embrace her, when she will give food to us. उस घोंसले में आप पक्षी को देखे होंगे, अजात पक्ष। अजात मतलब there are no wings. So they are waiting for the mother. When my mother will come, when my mother will feed us. So you can see that utkantha, the anxiety of meeting the mother. My Lord, I am just like that wingless bird. When you will come, I do not have my own strength to reach you. I do not have my own sadhana to come and reach you. So please, you come, just like that mother comes to embrace the children. You please come. Then Vritrasura thinks maybe the wingless bird, when they become, young, they forget their mother and they fly away. Then he thinks, oh, just like calf of a cow. Sometimes the calf of a cow, when the mother cow goes for grazing, the calf is tied, in the Goshala, and the calf becomes so anxious. When my mother will come, when she will give me milk. Sometimes the small calf, it pulls that rope, and it goes away. So much of utkantha, desire to meet the mother. My Lord, I am just like that small calf. I am so anxious that when you will come, when you will embrace me. And then Vritrasura thinks, maybe the calf also, when it grows, it does not drink milk. It will forget the mother. Then he thinks about Sat Stri. Just like a, Sat Stri, a chaste woman, she always thinks of her husband. When the husband goes away, she does all her activities, but thinking in the mind, when my master, my husband will come, when I will serve him, when I will please him. So throughout her entire life, till the time husband goes to the funeral fire, the sati, sat stri, chaste woman, she is devoted to her husband. So Vritrasura is telling just like that, sat stri, oh my Lord, I am just thinking about you, when you will come, when you will embrace me. So this is a very beautiful prayer of 6th canto in Vritrasura's prayer, and in most of the acharyas have commented that this is the essence of Bhagavatam. Madan Mohan Malviya ji, you have heard the name of Madan Mohan Malviya ji, a great scholar from Mathura, and he was Vice Chancellor of Kashi Vidyapith. He received the Padma Vibhushan award. And on the stage, when he was invited, because he was a great Bhagavatam scholar, Param Pujya Radha Govind Maharaj tells this story many times, that Madan Mohan Malviya ji, the Kulapati of Kashi Vidyapith, when he was awarded this Padma Vibhushan, he was asked in the interview, so you read so much of Bhagavatam, sir, can you please explain in one verse what you have, liked so much in Bhagavatam? So Madan Mohan Malviya ji recited this verse, Ajata Paksha Eva Mataram Khaga, the same verse. It is the essence of Bhagavatam. In Pushti Marga, Vritrasura's prayers are considered to be the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. So the devotees, although the Vritrasura is powerful, but his entire consciousness is use that power in the service of Krishna. Indra became bewildered. He was shocked. How great this Vritrasura. How great consciousness he has. Because Vritrasura was Chitraketu Maharaj in their previous life. And by Mata Parvati's curse, he became, Asura in the next life. But he accepted that. So the great devotees, Bala, if it is used in the service of Krishna, that is me. Krishna says that Bala is me. The sex, if it is used in the service of Krishna as per the religious principles, that sex is me. Krishna is telling in this verse. Attachment, if it is used in propagation of Krishna consciousness, that attachment is me, Raga. Dharma viruddha bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshava. Dharma aviruddha bhuteshu. So, how the Lord Krishna is telling in these verses. Now, first, Prabhuji, can you show that chart once again, please? So, in this section, Krishna is telling Arjuna the 5 verses. So, verse number 8 to 12, in this 4 or 5 verses, how Krishna is telling, I am the source of both spiritual and material energy. Although this bala, kama, attachment looks to be material, but if it is according to the principle of religion, that bala, kama, attachment is me. That's what Krishna is saying. So understanding this, in the next, Krishna says, who are those people who come to me? And who are those people who do not come to me? Chaturvida bhajante mam sukratino arjuna artho didnyasu artartir jnani cha bharatarshava. Then namam duskratino muda prapadyante naradhama maya pratadjnanam asurim bhavamashrita. 4 types of people who never come to me. Although, and 4 types of people who come to me, that Krishna explains in the next verses. So like this is a very beautiful chapter. The title of this chapter is Knowledge of the Absolute. भगवान के परम ज्ञान का नॉलेज है. So actually the bhakti in Srimad Bhagavad Gita starts from this chapter. Bhagavad Gita is divided into three main parts. The first part is called as Karma Yoga. The last part is called as Jnana Yoga. And the middle portion is called as Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga starts from chapter 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So Krishna has kept Bhakti in the middle of Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. It is a sandwich between Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. Because Bhakti is important. So, in this 7th chapter, how Krishna is telling about surrendering to Krishna. So understanding this, knowing the knowledge about Krishna, one should come to that stage that we should be able to surrender. So ultimately the whole purpose of this Bhagavad Gita is to make the reader to surrender to Krishna. That's why Lord Krishna concludes in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papyabhyo mokshayishyami ma shusha. So by various ways he has convinced Arjuna that it is the only me who should be taken shelter of. And one will be liberated from this material miseries only by surrendering to me. And that is the purpose of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And in subtle way, Prabhupada ji has explained the same principle in each of the verses of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. If you read from, any of these verses, ultimate conclusion is one should understand the strength, the power, the qualities of Krishna and should surrender to Krishna. And this is not only the purpose of Bhagavad Gita, even Srimad Bhagavatam. The conclusion is one should surrender and become a devotee of the Lord. That's why Krishna has told the one verses 2 times, Man mana bhav mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskaro. That is the essence of the whole knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. And that is the conclusion of Srimad Bhagavatam. All these prayers, all these stories is all made just to realize that Krishna is everything. And there is no hope of liberation without surrendering to Krishna. And similarly, the same essence is from this chapter. Krishna is source of everything. And everything emanates from him. And one who is intelligent surrenders unto him. Hare Krishna.